welcome you back to the Brennick channel. Today we are taking a look here at Lake Oroville. We will be getting right out to it. Today we're going to be talking about California. There's some big rains possibly coming. Still in the forecast, still possibly coming, and we are going to go look at it right now at windy.com. As we roll out to windy.com, you can see that they're still talking about a bunch of snow possibly coming, 103 inches possibly up here in the Sierra Mountain Range here. We will be talking about this. This is crazy. This could be a lot of precipitation. 110? Did I see that? Did I just see 110? Wow. That's right there in the Feather River. We go up here 115 inches possibly. Let's see what that equivalates in water. You're talking about maybe 11 inches. Now, is the GFS agreeing with this? Let's see. Not too much, but somewhat. They are saying that you're going to get about 5 inches of rain, so they're trending up and down here a little bit towards New Bullards Bar. You're talking about 8 inches, and then over here, you're talking about 9, and up here by Mount Shasta, they're talking about 7 in Trinity. Let's see what the European model might be doing. European model's being real bullish. 12.53, 13 inches. Wow. Let's see if we can find a 14-inch somewhere. 13 possible inches of rain, which is actually snow. Let's see what that snow would be. Holy moly, that is a lot of snow. 128 inches possibly coming. This is going to be an epic event if this happens, and we will be talking about this. Let's scoot in a little bit here. 130 inches possibly coming. Let's see if I can find even more. Right at Mount Shasta itself, possibly 131 inches. You scoot up a little bit, not as much. Scoot down a little bit, about the same. Wow, that's just insane. We go up to Weed, 96 inches, and I am telling you, this is crazy. If we get 131.5 inches, now the GFS is not as bullish, obviously. They're calling for about half of that, but still, it's a lot of snow either way you slice it or dice it. On top of the snow depth already, which is 51 inches, and you come over here just a little bit, and you're talking 130 inches, and you come over here, right by Mount Shasta itself, you're talking about 82 inches, and just to the east of there, you're talking about 109 inches that's currently on the ground. So we will see what ultimately happens. This is pretty crazy, folks. If Mount Shasta gets this much precipitation, wow, that's just going to be an epic snow event. And any way you slice it, dice it, it's already March. Today's the 3rd already, so this is crazy. We could possibly be getting a super massive snowstorm. And let's look at this. If we take it all the way out, they're talking about 124 inches and 145 inches. Now, this is the GFS, and this is 17 days out, and they're talking about 146 inches possibly. And this benefits Trinity too. Like Trinity's right here, and look right here where their watershed starts, 134 inches. So Trinity's going to be fine this year, no matter what happens. We will see. If we come over here to Los Angeles, people say I don't cover it enough. You're talking about 2.39. Now, granted, this is a long way out, so we will see ultimately what happens, but still, is GFS calling for this much precipitation? Actually, pretty close. San Bernardino up here, they're talking about 3.94. Look at Bakersfield, possibly a couple inches of precipitation. We come over to our friends over at Lake Havasu, and you were talking, you can get almost 4/10 of an inch. So even over here by Lake Mead, you could possibly get 1.79, and check out Sapau, 1.75, and Telluride could possibly get a couple inches of precipitation. That's desperately needed out here, folks. This snowpack is really light. Let's see what this equals in snow depth just for kicks. Another 30 inches would go a long way. We will see ultimately what happens, but look at this. GFS is being pretty bullish, and then the Europeans still not too far behind. So this possibly could be a good sign. You could see last week this was all covered in red, and now it has shifted more south. So that's good news. Mainly all the way across the United States, there could be possibly snow within the next 17 days. We will see. It's a long way out, and things can change, but this is what we got going on. This is pretty crazy with the massive amount of snow possibly coming here. 129.4 inches possibly coming to Mount Shasta. Wow. Just keep your heads up. We will be watching this. Let's roll out to Lake Berryessa for their first stop tonight on the water level. We'll see what's going on. As we roll out to Lake Berryessa, you can see that the water level is currently 440.89 feet. You can see it's on the downhill slide. We're still above full pool though. Let's go check that out. 440.89 feet. That was on Monday, March 3rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 0.89 feet above the glory hole of 440 feet. Changes since yesterday. The lake is down 0.14 feet over the last 24 hours. The lake is also down 0.55 feet over the last 7 days. The lake is down 1.53 feet feet over the last 14 days. The lake is up 3.68 feet over the last 30 days. Lake Berryessa is 9.51 feet over the last 6 months, and Lake Berryessa is up 3.73 feet. There is no inflows here at Lake Berryessa, so we'll go to the 3-year bar graph next. As we go to your 3-year bar graph, your full pool is 440 feet. In 2023, we are looking at a level of 414.77 feet. Last year, we were looking at a level of 437.16 feet. And of course, today we're above that. We're 440.89 feet. Dead pool there, long way from that today, 253 feet. And we continue to scoot along to percentage of capacity next. As we roll out to percentage of capacity, we are currently at 101.10%. Let's roll over to Folsom Lake. As somebody corrected me, I still got to switch all those, but they will be Folsom Lake going forward. As we roll out to Folsom Lake, you can see that the current water level is 431.75 feet. That was on Monday, March 3rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 34.25 feet. Below full pool of 466 feet. Changes since yesterday. The lake is up 0.02 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is down 3.18 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 5.21 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 34.93 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 14.96 feet. And over the last year, the lake is up 0.78 feet. Inflows are currently 4,461. Outflows are currently 2,275. Let's go to your 3-year bar graph next. As we roll out to your 3-year bar graph, 466 is your full pool there at Folsom Lake. In 2023, we are looking at a level of 424.98 feet. In 2024, we are looking at a level of 430.97 feet. In 2025, we're looking at a level of 431.75 feet. Dead pool there is 300, and let's go out to percentage of capacity next. As we roll out to percentage of capacity, we are currently at 64.41%. Let's roll up the new Bullards Bar reservoir next. As we roll out to new Bullards Bar, you can see that the roller coaster continues. We were high, we were low, went up, and now we're falling again. Your current water level is 1,925.42 feet. And that was on Monday, March 3rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 29.58 feet below full pool of 1,955. Changes since yesterday. The lake is down 0.47 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is down 2.98 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 3.22 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 16.18 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 31.35 feet. And over the last year, the lake is up 5.36 feet. Inflows are currently 2,159. Outflows are currently 2,957. Explains why it's going down. 3-year bar graph is next. As we roll out to the 3-year bar graph, your full pool level is 1,955. In 2023, we were looking at a level of 1,916.03 feet. In 2024, we were looking at a level of 1,920.06 feet. And today, we're looking at a level of 1,925.42 feet. Dead pool there is 1,700, and let's continue to your percentage of capacity next. As we roll out to percentage of capacity, we are currently looking at 85.56%. It's pretty good. Let's roll out to Lake Trinity next. As we roll out to Trinity Lake, you can see that the current water level is 2,342.94, slowly increasing. Let's go check it out. And that level was on March 3rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 27.06 feet below full pool of 2,307. Changes since yesterday at Trinity Lake, we are looking at 0.1 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is up 0.87 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 1.05 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 8.39 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 14.89 feet. And over the last year, the lake is up 17.16. We got ups going all across the board. Inflows are currently 2,992, and your outflows are currently 3,669. Let's go to your 3-year bar graph next. As we roll out to the 3-year bar graph, 2,370.10 feet is the glory hole. 2023, we are looking at a level of 2,000 2,230.87 feet. 2024, last year, we were looking at 2,325.78 feet. 2025, we were looking at a level of 2,342.94 feet. Dead pool there is 2,100. Percentage of capacity next. As we roll out to percentage of capacity, we are looking at a level of 82.91%. Lake Shasta next. As we roll out to Lake Shasta, you can see the roller coaster is starting to creep back up slowly. We are currently looking at a level of 1,032.65 feet. Monday, March 3rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 34.35 feet below full pool, 1,067. Changes since yesterday. The lake is up 0.49 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is also up 3.72 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 1.22 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 4.04 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is also up 25.12 feet. And over the last year, the lake is down 5.47 feet. Inflows are currently 6,139 and outflows are currently 746. Let's go to your 3-year bar graph next. As we roll out to your 3-year bar graph, this is what I want you guys to pay attention to right here. We got to look at this full pool. Full pool level's 1,067. We have all this precipitation coming. We got to keep that in mind. That is the top of the full pool. So anything above that will be over the full pool. So something to think about. And they probably will open up gates if this weather forecast continues. 2023, we're looking at 996.78 feet. 2024, we're looking at 1,038.12 feet. And of course, today we are a little lower at 132.65 feet. So you have about 30 foot of leeway. We will see. Dead pool there is 737.75 feet. Long way from that today. And let's roll out to percentage of capacity next. As we roll out to percentage of capacity, we are looking at 79.08%. It would be better if that was down to about 65 if this rain forecast is coming, but this is what we got. So let's roll down to Lake Oroville for our final stop this evening. As we roll out to Lake Oroville, you can see it's pretty well flatlined. It might be slightly higher, might be right around the same level, 861.65 feet. That was on Monday, March 3rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 38.55 feet below full pool of 900. Changes since yesterday, the lake is up 0.15 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is down 0.81 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 0.69 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 20.70 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 45.41 feet. And over the last year, we're down. So this is what I wanted to focus on. We are down slightly from last year at this point in time, 0.38, but I don't recall having this big of a snowstorm coming in this late. Can you guys refresh my memory? Am I wrong for thinking that? Anyhow, your inflows are currently 9,956 and your outflows are currently 9,799. 3-year bar graph next. As we roll out to the 3-year bar graph, full pool is 900, as you all know. 2023, 843.42 feet. Last year we were looking at 861.83 feet, and today we are looking at 861.45 feet, so slightly down. Dead pool there is 640, and let's roll out to percentage of capacity for the final stop this evening. As we roll out to Lake Oroville's percentage of capacity, we are looking at 83.57%. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you have, and we will see you on the next one. We're definitely keeping an eye on this one. This could be a monster if it happens. We'll see. God bless.